Okay, hello beautiful people. I'm back again with another video, and this time I want to talk about how I feel like oftentimes we are a generation, or as the generations go on, we are becoming a society that puts men on a pedestal that I feel can be very dangerous. And I say this because what started what caused me to want to do this particular video is because I was having a conversation with a friend yesterday, and she made a comment about how her nephew is so and such a responsible father. He lives out of town, but he still is such a good dad, and he's so good to his kids, and she just wanted to pat him on the back and basically congratulate him or just give him kudos for being a good father. And she said, especially, these days with so many men not taking care of their children, and for him to be so young, he's 38. And that just struck me as crazy. Because first of all, 38, yeah, you better be. You old enough to have your stuff together and have the father thing down packed by now, at least taking care of them part. But secondly, I just think it's crazy that we feel like we have to pat men on the back when they do the jobs that they're supposed to do as fathers. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think it's anything wrong with seeing a man who you feel is a good father, or seeing a mother, a parent, an uncle, an aunt, anyone you feel like lives up to their role or their position as a father, an aunt, an uncle, sister, a mother, and very well, especially in comparison to others. I don't think it's anything wrong with congratulating them. However, I feel like in our society, we have become, and it could be because, over 50% of all households are single parent households. It could be because, we don't see a lot of fathers, especially in the black community, who stand up and take care of their family and take care of their, of their business. And when I say family, I don't just mean their kids. I mean, they stay with the children's mother. They provide for them. They raise their children in a two-parent home. We don't see that a lot. Or very often, especially where I come from. But I think it's dangerous when we get to the point where we make them feel, or have the mindset of, well, oh my gosh, he's being a dad, good for him. It's like, that's what he's supposed to do. Because I feel like as a mother, if I were to get my child every other weekend, or, for some reason just decide to be absent for years or months at a time, and then come back, and then leave, and then come back, what generally you would see in an absentee parent or an absentee father, that would be something that I would be highly judged for and criticized for. It's my job as a mother to make sure that my children are provided for financially and emotionally, and nurturing them. That's my job. I should do that. But if you want to congratulate me on being a good mom, then thank you. I appreciate that. But I don't ever think that we should become people who see someone doing something they're supposed to be doing and make them feel a million times high because they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. This is what you're supposed to be doing. Now we're moving the bar up. So now, instead of you doing the basics of what you're supposed to be doing, which is providing for your children and fathering them and being a daddy to them, now let's move on. Now we got to worry about what can we instill in him so that he grows up to be the kind of man that we want to see him be as he grows and comes into this world. What can we instill in him that when he grows up, he can put out into the world and resonate and leave a mark? Thinking deeper into the future, thinking about not only our legacy that we're going to leave through our children, but what kind of legacy are they going to leave for their children. Let's think deeper besides me having to chase after you just to make sure you pay your child support. That's to me, that's being a father. Now, with that said, I feel like when I say that I feel like we are putting men on a pedestal, I feel women are the demoralization of women in our society, and just how women demoralize themselves. I mean, seriously, this is something I always say, like, I really don't think adultery would be something so rampant in our society if there were more women who were willing to say, I'm not going to sleep with you because you are a married man. If there were more women who would draw that line versus women who are willing to lay down with you knowing that you are married, there would be more men who would be held accountable or holding themselves accountable. Or, you know, if we had a society where more people were held accountable, kind of like the idea where, you know, it takes a village to raise a child. If that child knows that maybe over here, if he acts up, he can't do it, you know, if he acts up, he gonna get the same punishment or the same you know, recognition that he would get from his mom at home. So your mama can whoop you, but so can Miss Betty down the street. You know, yes, your wife is gonna cuss you out for sleeping on her, but you know what, that woman down the street who know you married too, she gonna cuss you out, and then she gonna go tell your wife. I mean, there's no accountability. We're coming so far away. And every time I think about stuff like that, I think about a part in the Bible where they talk about how there's going to come a time where there's going to be so much adultery and just, you know, wickedness and more immorality. And I'm not trying to make anyone feel condemned. I'm just explaining to you how it resonates with me. How it's going to be so much of it that there are going to be women who come, there are going to be 6 women to 1 man, and they're going to say, we don't care, we'll provide our own food, we'll provide our own clothing, we'll do everything that you're supposed to do for us, you know, as a man, and we don't care, we'll do all that as long as you lay down and sleep with us. As long as you lay down and give me a child, I'll do whatever. And I feel like I see that a lot right now. With just women that I know that are in my family, women who are close to me, women who are more willing to lay down with a man who really is not their equal yoke, or, you know, he ain't even for you. You know, not to say he's not good enough for you, but at the end of the day, in layman terms, men who aren't good enough for you, who need to work harder to treat you like the queen that you are. They're willing to lower their standards so that they won't be alone. They're afraid to be alone. They're afraid of people judging them. And I just feel like, you know, how we look at ourselves and how we carry ourselves as women is something that really is a big problem, and that kind of resonates deeper than just, you know, than just with us. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, what do you think? Let me know. Leave your comments below.